crazy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me break it. You'll swear you're falling into me. Touch me, I swear you would do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger.
I
Meow.
love the bat.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. No, I
What
like
did
the
you
little
say?
your favorite ants. I like the little your
Oh,
favorite ants part.
I think that's great. I thought you said I like the bat, and I was like, what bat?
Oh no, I said I like that. You know?
I like that. I
Mhm.
like that. Hey everyone,
Okay.
welcome to another week, another end of greatest way to bring in your weekend. Here with us on your favorite ants. I
Oh, for
am
sure.
Julia Child.
And I am Rachel. What's her name? I'm terrible. I
Rachel
don't know any
Maddow,
chefs' names.
Rachel
No, I was thinking it's
Ray,
Ray. I'm Rachel Ray.
Rachel Dolezal.
I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
you're
No,
not. You're
I'm
not Rachel Dolezal. You're
who's
not Rachel
that?
Dolezal. Who's Rachel Dolezal? Rachel Dolezal was the woman who was like the president of like a local NAACP chapter, despite being a white woman, but she basically posed as a black woman
And
because
then said she identified as a black woman, right?
I identify as black, and I'm like,
Right.
do you? Do you
Huh.
now?
Huh.
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 Anyways, so I'm Julia Child. That's Rachel Ray, and this is your favorite ants, the greatest and only
They would be
podcast.
so fun to have as ants.
Listen, Julia Child, I think she wouldn't put up with us.
Oh
Figure it
no.
with me in the kitchen while we're cooking, you know?
Yeah, but that would be the level of it.
But yeah, so if you're here, we're glad you're here. And if you're listening to this later, we're glad that you decided to come hang out with us once again for another episode.
Yeah, it's so good to be with you guys. Also, let us know how you're doing if you're
Yeah,
there.
if you're there. And if not, me and Sarah are going to have a great chat on our own today because that's
That's
kind of how
fair.
we do anyways.
But we like having you with
I don't
us.
think we've ever had a conversation that's boring.
No. No. We don't. The thing is like one of us would hang up. You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
Like, hey, you know, like, okay, well, this was fine.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Sarah, how the hell are you? How's your week
Oh,
been? What you been up
oh,
to?
it's been a really good week, but a really hard week. So I was trying to put all the subfloors in my trailer, which was a lot of work.
I feel like this needs to be a trailer. I want trailer. We should have trailer. That's what I want to know.
We should have trailer updates. It's true. So my friend Derek came in. Actually, Derek's online right now with us. Derek came in
Hey,
and did the
Derek.
plumbing, and then my friend. Oh, yes, he's so great. And then my friend Luke has been helping me put in all the like subfloor. And Luke and I worked, I'm talking like morning till it was dark every day trying to get the subfloor in. And it turned out, are you ready? That I should have pumped the tires up equal levels so that the C channel floor could go. It doesn't matter. Point is, him and I worked so hard on things. He's very strong and he couldn't get the floorboard in. And then at the end of the day, of the last day we were working, I looked at him and I said, tire pressure. And he was like, no. Uh-oh. So turns out I could have done it better. But you know what? Learning lesson. And
How would you have
also,
known? How would you have known?
I would like to say I think I'm doing really well because I made a decision that I think you will be so proud of. I was going to
I'm ready
rush back
to.
to California today, try to make it to my friend's house so that you and I could do our show. And then I was going to pack like crazy yesterday, like all this sort of stuff. And then all of a sudden I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I
Mm,
rushing when I literally have control of my schedule? And I made this false thing that I needed to be back by a certain day. I can't run in the race I was hoping to run in Sunday anyway. So, or the walk run thing I was going to do. So I just said, I'm going to stay an extra day and take things leisurely, which is not the way I've done things ever. So I'm in this like super good
Mm,
mood,
mm,
having a
mm,
fantastic
mm.
cocktail because my friend Sierra got me this huckleberry vodka. And it is,
Shit.
I just bought 3 bottles for friends that have done different things for me over the time. So little things like that you have time to do when you don't rush.
Hello. Listen, I try not to rush ever. I used to be that way. That's listen, you are living life at the speed, and that is so good to see because, like, swear to God, if you would have been rushing back to LA, I would have been like, okay, if that's what's going to make you happy.
Yeah, but when you say that to me, I know that inside you're going,
And that's true because I'm just like, I don't think this is gonna make her happy, but I hope that it does. And I'm gonna
well,
that's my way of releasing my expectations of other people's behavior.
but I am doing like super well.
Yeah,
I
sounds like
got to
it.
like go
You
get a
seem brighter
plant.
today.
Yeah, I got to go get a plant for the family. So one of the things that's been so cute, my trailer's at my friend's parents' place, and they are like the sweetest couple. And the mom has been making me grilled cheese sandwiches and my friend's grilled cheese sandwiches. And like she cuts our pickles, she cuts our apples. The kids come out every day to come see us. Like
Who
it's
has
so
pickles and apples with their PB&Js?
well, it's a grilled cheese sandwich she makes
I mean,
us.
apples, sure. Oh, grilled cheese. I wouldn't
Mhm.
though.
But she puts it on the side. I
Not
mean,
me. I don't want that.
anyway, she's
Anyway,
making
sorry.
incredible lunches for us. And the secret is my friend Luke hates pickles, which makes me so happy because then I get to eat his pickles. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But so I went and got her like a little plant to say thank you. And like I got to like hang out with them today a little bit where I wasn't rushing. I was just standing with them. And, it just felt like the right way to end things. And I think so often we are rushing because we feel like we have to get to the next thing. And today has been a gift I gave myself.
We don't need to rush to get to anything ever.
Nope. How the hell are you?
I was coughing really. That's why I muted my cam. Hold on.
Also, your
Oh,
new
sorry.
microphone is giving me your new microphone,
When I
it
tell you,
is.
it is everything to me. I think I've like listen, if you're somebody out there and you've had a blue microphone for a couple years, you should upgrade to a Shure. And this is not even like the most fancy version of the Shure. It's the one right below it that has the USB hookup. And it
Ooh,
sounds like this. And
it
so
sounds so good.
I love it. I think it makes my voice sound delicious and buttery and even. And I don't like it adjusts the gain based on how loud I'm talking. So if I start screaming, it's going to auto level down so that it doesn't like blow out the people's ears.
Well, and we had a big meeting with someone who's a big deal in the podcasting world, and did you notice what he had?
An SMB 55 or SM
Sure
57,
did. Yep.
just because he's been a part of it. Listen, I tell
Okay, how
you,
are you?
I tell you oh yeah, how am I? That's the question. I've a little depressed today, a little depression feels today. Um, and this is something I guess like I could bring up here because my therapist does not follow any of my work because it's part of her code of ethics not to research me.
Oh,
But like
fun.
thank God. But like I had this interesting thing happen with my therapist last week that is still sticking with me, and so I guess that means that we need to like address it. But like,
Ooh.
so as you know, I joined a CrossFit gym recently, and I'm going to be the person who joins a CrossFit gym and doesn't talk about it on the internet because it's my thing and I like it. Besides, right here on this podcast right now, but I shared that with my therapist and didn't get the reaction I guess I was hoping for because for me doing something like this, I've been somebody who's been trying to figure out how to my body and love it but like I need to find movement that feels good, that like exerts me a little bit, that I don't get bored with, because otherwise I can be I don't want to say a lazy stoner, but I can be a very immobile stoner. I'm happy to just chill, which there's nothing wrong with that, but also my body needs more. Um
Yeah.
but she,
And we
but
learned
she
to
just got
like dopamine's so important for us with people who
Yeah.
have ADHD. I mean, it's so important for us.
Yeah. And so I was excited because like over the past couple weeks I've been doing these training sessions and learning about the technique and like how to do it and all that other good stuff. And they're like teaching me how to do it on my level. They're showing me like, okay, so this is where you might work to, but this is where you're at today. And we might have you there for a while. You're going to have to be okay with that. I'm like, great. Make it easier if you want to. I love it. But I think the thing I liked more than anything was I'm not like it's one of the thing it feels like I'm just here to have fun. And it also feels like this is a place that's, traditionally masculine people go into those places, or like, people who are not me go into those places. And
And you and I
I
have talked about
feel,
it before because there's some stuff around like your dad and who your dad was and his expectations of masculinity and all of that that had to do with working
mm,
out. That like it's so fun for me as your friend to see you reclaiming a gym space.
yeah. And that's what's felt really good. And I was hoping for that, but like, basically, like the reaction she had was just like she was, lovingly concerned about like, all the things that one should be concerned about, and I felt shame come up about it. Like,
Oh,
and I was like, here's the deal. I totally understand that me working out is going to like change your body in certain ways because that's the nature of doing it, that you're going to change in certain ways. And I won't lie, I am pumped about what those things could be because I am someone who is socialized as a gay male, and my dating pool is mostly gay men, and therefore I'm vain. Like I get it. I know that I am in some ways I'm making some kind of like um it feels like such a weird thing to talk about. I'm just like I know that I'm giving myself to like a little bit of the Western stereotype of masculinity, maybe, and at the same time I also just like fucking working out. And so this is where I've kind of landed with it all. Is It's just a fucking gym. I need to stop thinking about it less and just enjoy what I'm doing. And if I'm not enjoying it, I shouldn't do it.
it's also a place of like community that doesn't need you to be a certain way.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
have to be a
that's
fucking coach there. I don't have to
no,
be a
no,
theologian. I don't have
nope.
to be on.
Yep.
I can literally in my tights and in my tank top and just do the workout.
Yeah. Melissa, you want to bring her comment up because I think this is really helpful. CrossFit has helped me
Sure.
reframe my body image. I care more about the numbers on my lifts rather than the scale. Good for you.
Thanks, Melissa. I received that. That feels nice to hear. And also,
Yeah.
so I think that's like, I didn't have my therapy session today. And so, like, I was planning on talking to her about it today, but she had to reschedule, which was fine. Um, I still truly adore my therapist. She's done so much good for me, and also this is like the first time I've ever had a little like headbutting moment with my therapist. This is
I
the
think
first
it's
time I've
important. It's
ever.
important to remember it's a relationship, right? Like
Yeah,
I think that's the thing that's hard with like these relationships that are like professional and the like reality. The hard part, it's almost like those moments when you realize your parents could be wrong. Like I know a lot of people that
right.
started younger, but I remember in therapy being like, oh my, my parents might not have been like, oh, maybe they were wrong
Perfect.
about me. Right. Or wrong about me. And I think sometimes what my parents, come on, I'm just kidding. Whereas I think it's hard for us when therapists or people that we look up to or coaches or pastors or all this sort of stuff when we realize like, oh wait, maybe they don't have a better read on me than I have on me. It can be like very almost re-traumatizing where it takes us
Yeah,
back to those places when people of authority have let us down
yeah,
or hurt us or harmed us or whatever it might be.
yeah. That's something I talked about last night in my coaching circle, where we were doing some guided meditation, and something that I am glad now, was, and they brought it up, was really activating for them and really hard for them to work through a meditation, because when you get still and you have trauma, the body just sometimes
Oh,
freaks the fuck out. Or like if you're saying, hey, we're going to talk to your younger self, and your younger self, you've kept them locked away, and they suddenly get some space to come out, of course you freak out. And so being able to like just recognize that even me in that moment, I'm like, oh, I should have set them up better. I should have said, hey, by the way, this could happen. And if this happens, here's what you can do. Um, and so I was just, so yeah, even I'm just here to say, like, same. I can
Yeah.
be wrong. It's like we could, your favorite internet people can be wrong.
Your favorite ants can be incorrect.
Oh, your favorite ants can never be wrong. I'm
And we don't want to hurt you, but we will because no one gets it right
Ooh, can we
ever.
just say that again? We don't want to hurt you, but we will.
What we will. And I think
Period.
mhm, that's been the lesson for me. I think no one, I think the last 5 years is that I think for a long time, I assumed that there was something wrong with me when there was a disappointment. Like, oh, I must
Mhm.
be reading them wrong. Instead of like, oh no, they can be wrong, and that doesn't make them any less great or spiritual or whatever it might be. I think it's sort of like releasing the need for them to be perfect,
Mhm.
and in that way, releasing the need for me to be perfect.
Yeah. And I think that's something what I'm hoping that I've been playing around with the idea recently a lot of like what does new kinds of spiritual community look like? No, you're not gonna bark at the neighbors right now, dear.
It doesn't look
Oh,
like Tippy barking.
she does not look like Tippy barking. Not I think she just needs to get to know the neighbors. I think she just gets excited. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. She's like, oh, I see. Anyways, something I'm thinking about, I was talking with somebody and I said, like, what does ideal spiritual community look like? And I think that for me,
Hmm.
that's one of the markers is that you have leaders who, when they fuck up, they're the first person to tell you, you know?
Yeah. Or when you point it out to them, they take a moment to go, wow. And I think that takes a lot. Like, let me think about that. Let me think about how
Hmm.
how I experienced that. I had my coaching classes that I'm taking last night, and I was in the room. Like, so they put us in groups of 4, and of course I'm the only girl, and I'm the only one in the room who has their pronouns listed, guys. Let's just point that out. And this
Okay, I just want to
guy,
say there's a theme in your life where you end up being the only progressive woman in the room. You got to stop doing that to yourself, baby.
well, that one was not my choice. They broke us out in groups. Before that, the day before that, or last class, I was with like the progressive cool homies. But it's just like it
Nice.
auto populates us. So this guy like made a joke about because I said something about my trailer, and he was like, I said she, and he was like, well, how do you know their pronouns? And I was like, I was so frustrated, and I stopped and I thought, and I was like, he doesn't know better.
Mm.
And if I can be the one to be in this space and recognize that everybody is on this like progression.
Hmm.
And the joke he was making is because he's uncomfortable.
Not because
Um,
he's actually making a silly joke about naming inanimate objects with
right,
pronouns.
right. It's because he was like, because, oh, you have pronouns and you're in things. So maybe this is, and he was trying. It was
Hmm.
wrong in some ways, but he's trying. And I think the spaces that I appreciate are the spaces where people are like, "Oh man, I messed up." And then people
Mm.
go, "Yeah, that hurt. Oh man, I messed up." And it's like we learn how to like do that. I mean, that's one of the things I love about our friendship is um I have run away from people who I've hurt, right? Like I don't want to hurt people, and so if I've hurt them, then I like slink away or disappear. And
Mm.
you've been a constant in my life where I can say, "Yeah, maybe we're not seeing things eye to eye," and I can tell you, "Oh shit, I screwed up," and you're willing
Mhm.
to be like, "Oh," and we both do that. I mean, the number of times we've done that, that's a real relationship, and we can't act like any
Yeah.
relationship. And stupid TV makes you think like even in dating or romantic relationships that there's never going to be that instead of like this is how we handle
For
conflict.
I mean, for real, like, that to me is the marker of an actual good relationship is how many times have you fought or had to step away from each other and successfully done it.
Mhm.
And, my closest relationships
Mhm.
are people with whom I have been my most angry. Um,
Yeah.
and it's most and so I'm like I mean, for me, like, at least, like, this was where radical honesty comes into play for me, where it's just like, I always have to, like, something I actually say for myself is I have to keep my rules of radical honesty, which is I have to be honest because I'm responsible for my feelings. I have to name what I need because I am in charge of that too. And also, I can ask for whatever I want as long as I'm okay with hearing no. And being able to say how I'm feeling, period. I don't have,
Mhm.
no one needs to react to it. Nobody needs to fix it. I just know that I will always name my feelings because when I do that, it brings clarity to a situation. If I can say what's going on in my head, the story I'm telling myself is, and like, we're just misunderstanding and talking past each other half the time. And that I think that goes for like most friendships and relationships, to be honest.
And even professional relationship, like a therapist who like doesn't celebrate the thing that you needed, and then you have to like admit to like, oh, when have I felt this before? Maybe it was when I was younger. My parents dismissed the thing I was really excited about. Like it like retakes us back to that moment. I know for me, like I recognize that like my brother is one of my favorite people in the world, but the things I think he's gonna be like pumped on for me, he like goes into immediate like fear of like, oh, that could hurt her if it doesn't work out. So he always acts a little bit like,
Aloof.
oh, yeah, right. And I'm like, Jonathan, like, I did this thing. And he's like, oh, great. Anyway. And I'm like, no, I needed you to like pause and celebrate. And I had to
Mhm.
recognize, I remember one time you told me, you're like, why do you keep expecting your brother to be anyone other than your brother? And I was like, I don't know. Cause he's so great who he is. And yet I add on all these things. I want him to be the person who's my cheerleader
Mhm.
and that's just not my brother. That's not who he is in so many people's worlds. He's just a incredible human who like, he's always thinking of the practical and he's not going to be like, you did the thing. I was thinking like the other
Yeah,
day,
he's
go ahead.
nah, you're good. Keep going.
I was just gonna say, like, we had that big conversation with someone who is incredible and inspiring, and I wanted to like tell somebody, right? Because it was like this was an amazing conversation where someone it felt like saw our work and saw what we were trying to do, and I like I wanted someone to be excited for me, and I like went to text my brother, and I was like, not the person to text, like
Not the person to text.
he's
Who can
not
I
gonna be
text?
jammed.
Who can I text? I've got those friends. So like, if I ever need like to complain, like really deeply yell, I call Josh. If I wanna kiki and gossip, I call you. If I need actual like physical support, I call my friends in town. And if I Lord, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
I'm sorry.
will call upon the Lord
I
who
will
is
call upon
worthy to be
who
praised.
is worthy to be praised. Oh, what?
So
I
shall
don't
I
remember.
be something. Anyway, so that's our section called How the Hell Are You? We know it went a little long, but guys, hopefully that
I
was
don't give a.
helpful.
This is my time to catch up with my friend. These people are showing up to my time. Just kidding.
Whereas I'm
Um,
like worried about everyone in the room. How's everyone doing?
everyone's having a great time. They wouldn't be here otherwise, correct?
Correct.
We are getting into our next little section. I've just got two funny things. It's called Did You Hear? It is a section where we talk about pop culture, current events, things going on in the world,
Yes.
Christian subculture, regular culture, or otherwise.
Or otherwise.
I'll
Yes,
give
my love.
three quick plugs. Where is, oh, it's over there. Hold on.
Oh, I'll miss you while you're gone. Also, thank you so much to everyone who has been
This
answering
is
the
on the
questions on
Kevin's Book
Instagram.
Club. Um,
Here, they're back.
Where's my headphones? Welcome to Kevin's Book Corner, where I
Oh,
am going to be plugging
did you
three.
hear? I'm ready.
Yes, so Kevin's Book Club here in the corner. Um, three books that I'm going to recommend that you get
Ready.
ASAP. First one, Still Stace by Stacey Chomiaks. I just had Stacey on my podcast. It is a queer coming of age story, queer Christian coming of age story, and the whole thing is illustrated. An
I didn't realize it
illustrated
was illustrated. I haven't got it yet.
illustrated memoir. An illustrated memoir. Let me
I love
find.
that.
Like, hold on. Look, kissing.
Oh,
There's a scene in here. There's a sex scene in here too. I'm gonna find the sex scene. Oh, I found it.
I love you
Look,
so much.
lesbian love, lesbian Christian love.
Yeah.
Buy this book. It's called Still Stays. It's available everywhere. And also, I love a hardcover that's actually a
Oh,
hardcover
that's
and
a
not just
really
the
cute
jacket.
book. It's a design. I loved my publishers. They were terrible at design.
You can say, are you allowed to say that you didn't like working with them? Because I wish you would tell the truth.
I did like working with them. I just didn't like their publicity or their art. That's it. I loved working with them otherwise.
Which is like half of what sure is.
Okay, whatever. Rest of your books. Go.
Okay. All right. Okay. Second book. Emily Kegler's All Who Are Weary. The subtitle is Easing the Burden on the Walk with Mental Illness. So if you are a person of faith who also struggles with your mental health or needs new language to talk
Mm.
about it, you need to get this book. Reverend Emmy Kegler also is the author of One Coin Found, queer Lutheran pastor up in Minneapolis. And I love
Ooh,
her. And she also was one of the featured speakers on my tour this summer. So
love it.
fucking love Emmy. Third, Wholehearted Faith by our sister Rachel Held Evans with Jeff Chu. God rest your soul, Rachel. I got through the introduction. I haven't even gotten into it because I started
I
reading it
can't
today
start it.
and I started crying. I started crying again.
I can't. There's too much. So yeah, so our friend Rachel passed away. And you know that tinsel, like a lot of people got the tattoo with her, that word tinsel. Is it timshel? How do we say
No.
it?
Tim Shell is thou mayest, but you're talking about S.S. Shahill.
Is that what they got? I thought they got timshel tattooed on them.
Tim Shell means thou mayest. S.S. Shahill means woman of valor.
Oh, that's right. I was just gonna say, I saw a tattoo that I thought was the tattoo that she had or they had in honor of her, and I was like, "Wow, still not ready to deal with those feelings."
You should. You should deal with them now.
I do sometimes. My trailer, as people know, has some attachment there to her and to her family, who I adore, and for lots of reasons. And there are times when she feels closest to me is in that space and place. She's there.
Mm.
And somebody really cared about it. And my friend asked me why. I was like, oh, why am I having all these feelings? And my friend was like, because somebody really cares about a thing that you really care about. And it also is, it's beyond the thing. So it's a thing behind the thing behind the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that book,
Yep.
I want to read it so bad. It took me a while to read Inspired again, like reread Inspired again, just because grief has been a really scary thing for me. I dip into it and I'm afraid of not being able to get out of it. And so I have to do it in like little moments. I have to do it in
You know what you need to do? I mean, I'm not here to tell you how to like deal with your grief, but also, you need like a fucking grief retreat. You need to go somewhere. You need to get quiet. You need like a silent retreat. You need to go in the woods and sob.
Can I tell
And
you what I found out about here that you might be interested in? So I'm having plantar fasciitis issues, and I started going to a sports. He's a massage therapist, but he does like more than that. And for whatever reasons, we started talking about mushrooms, and we all know I don't do drugs, not out of judgment. I'm an anxious human, and that makes me even more anxious. And he was talking about how he therapeutically has learned about the use of mushrooms. And there is a woman here
yes,
who is certified. She's a therapist who takes people on like day long, like they
trips.
do. Yes, but they're grief related. They're all these things. And she's with people. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, look, I've been doing this for years. And what I recognize is she's been a therapist for long, long years. And she said, taking people on a 1-day retreat is like 4 to 5 years of therapy.
When I
We get to
tell you
places.
the truth, that's it. And if I ever went back to school, it would be to explore psychedelic assisted therapy. Because
I
when I started using like psilocybin as a part of personal work, like you wonder how I've made as much progress as I've had in the past 2 years. It's in no small part thanks
You've
to
been
plant medicine.
amazing.
And I have
Well,
had
and that's the
immense
thing
help.
that Well, and this person was a doctor who was talking to me. He's got his doctorate in all kinds of things, and he's sitting there going like, kids here try to like party with mushrooms or try to do ayahuasca, all this stuff, and he's like, I just feel like people need to understand it's not a party drug. This is like the way of
Mhm.
connecting in such a. He's like, and Oregon really is working hard on that.
Mhm.
So it's an interesting conversation, and one like
No,
because
it's
I was like, oh, I'm too anxious to do that, and he was like, yeah, whatever you come with, you bring to the experience, but
mhm.
there's more to be said about like microdosing and all that. So I've got a lot to learn, is all I'm saying, and I've got a lot to let go of because I am the dare kid, right?
If
Like
I can, like, encourage you. Oh, yeah, you are the dare kid. You are the dare kid.
yeah,
I actually won
I'm a
a essay
poster
contest in
child.
the 3rd grade for dare. How I talked about how drugs and alcohol would fuck up your
Of
life.
course you
Well, I
did.
didn't say fuck, I was in the 3rd grade.
Yeah, of course
Um,
you did.
if I may encourage you, you should talk to your doctor friend about doing a retreat with her because listen, you wanna, like, you're the person who wants to get done with this shit faster than you can get done with it, and here's somebody who's saying, "There is a way." And
Yeah.
everyone who's listening out there, you need to check with your doctor and check in with your body. Make sure if you are using any sort of.
Thank you. This has been a moment in honesty. Okay, what else did you hear? Because we've got some things on our list.
Oh my god, we actually didn't even get into that, did we? Oop, 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 oop.
It's okay. We're here.
Okay, so did you know, friends, that this past week in Dallas, Texas, people who have been following the QAnon conspiracy theories went to the famous grassy knoll where JFK was assassinated because, according to QAnon lore, which is
Oh
what we are
God.
calling the bullshit that QAnon peddles,
Lore. I like it.
JFK Jr., who is dead, like died in like the early 90s,
Hmm.
was supposed to emerge and name himself the president and then name Donald Trump. Can you guess? What do you think they were going to name? What that JFK Jr. was going to name Donald Trump?
I can't.
I
I
want you
mean,
to
I
guess.
know.
I want you to guess.
I
Oh,
know.
you know?
Oh, I know. And it's
If
not
you would.
good. You want me to
King
say it?
of
King of
kings,
kings, Lord of
and
lords,
he shall reign forever and
forever
ever,
and ever.
forever.
What
And yeah,
the
I only sing the bass
actual?
part there. And of
What
course,
the
like
actual?
hundreds of people showed up, and nobody, no, nothing happened. You know why?
He
Because that's
didn't.
fucking weird. It didn't happen because it was never going to happen because QAnon is fucking fake as shit. Oh, unbreak my heart, Jesus. It's just like,
Unbreak my heart. Sorry.
I just really can't believe that this is the world we live in. Like this is the timeline. Like like we heard about like segregation back in our parents' day.
People are going to hear about QAnon when our kids are, we
Exactly.
don't
Like
have any kids, but the kids of our
our
friends,
friend, yeah, our nieces and nephews and BBs.
our BBs.
Um BBs. But like professing to be Christian and you want Trump to be proclaimed King of Kings, that is so like that's like shit from like Revelation. That's like exactly what we like read
But
in
like
like
on
the
the
Left
opposite
Behind
thing, I
series.
thought like, but wouldn't they say that that person was then the like false person? So
The
isn't it like,
Antichrist.
right?
Exactly.
Well, which seems kind of right. I mean, congrats, you got it right.
Except for the fact that JFK Jr. is dead, and um, I'm not saying resurrection can't happen, but only.
Please put Willie's response up because it's good.
Oh, I seriously wish the dead Kennedys had shown up and punk rocked their butts off. Oh my god, that would have
The
that
dead
would have been.
Kennedys. This was their moment.
Yeah, this was a really good publicity moment for you.
Mhm.
Um, in addition to other weird political news, according to a lot of interviews with people who are charged with various crimes during the January 6th insurrection, said that they had multiple planning meetings with multiple GOP members of Congress. And they showed them the schematics, where the people's stuff was, where panic buttons were. etc., etc. So like it was not an accident at all. It was actually coordinated
Planned.
and planned. I'm just like, they really legitimately were trying to overthrow the government.
Hmm.
Because like, what if Donald Trump stayed in the White House that day and the votes weren't ratified? What would have happened? And I'm just wondering why this is not bigger news. I'm like,
Uh,
why haven't these senators like been arrested or questioned or like charged or like because
I was driving today
it
thinking
makes sense.
about, yeah, I was driving home today thinking about like why anyone would want to be in public office these days. Like, what is that all about? Because it's such a weird world we're living in right now. And the only thing is, I feel like anyone who does want to be in public office, if they start on the small local level, like they usually have like great intentions and all this sort of stuff. But it's almost like doesn't matter who you are when you get to that level. There's so much. Like, can you imagine? Like, I've worked with some real assholes. There are people who have to work with these assholes like on a daily
If I had
basis
to work with somebody who like helped plan the thing that would have gotten me shot,
or lynched, or I mean,
like
guys,
literally, they're like, we're going to lynch the vice president. That's what they were going in there to do.
what bothers me is that now he's like, well, what?
Yeah,
No, they wanted to like take away the father of your family, and you're like the good Christian man. You should be real upset about that.
unless you were in on it.
I don't think he was. His
Uh,
reaction to it right away was like, the fuck?
yeah, Lord Jesus, we just pray in this place. I'm bathed in His blood.
Bathed. So
Um,
yeah. So that was Did You Hear? Did you hear? I'm gonna give you a pop culture one. Are you even ready?
probably not.
Britney has been feeling the like a little bit of freedom as they're still looking at
Yes.
her conservatorship, and she posted photos with her sons where she was just like being a mom, and it was kind of
Mhm.
great. Her sons are old because we old. Brittany and I are around the same age, and it was really just neat to see her like
She
posting
also she also
more
posted a bunch
photos.
of shit about she's basically like, by the way, where do you think my dad got the idea for the conservatorship? He's not smart enough for this. It was always my mom, and I'm suing her ass too.
I love that I thought I was bringing you a piece of news, and you're like,
And
but
somebody
also.
listen, like I have been
And
a part
Kim
of the Free
Kardashian
Britney
is
movement.
proving, yes, yes, you have. I was gonna say, and Kim Kardashian is proving that funny boys sometimes get the attention of cute girls. Because isn't she like seeing the SNL guy who's
Pete
not?
Davidson.
He's not as handsome as she maybe is beautiful. Whatever. Who cares about all
Oh,
that
but
shit?
he's
But
got swag though. Like
oh, he has swag. That's what I'm saying. People
he
don't
has
understand.
swag,
It's
and he
not
probably
about looks.
he's got a BD baby. He's probably had a huge. I'm telling you, like that has like that you can
He
easily
has
get
BD
digmatized.
energy.
Yeah, he's got big dick energy, probably because, like, listen, how else are you gonna snag Ariana Grande unless you got a grande?
I mean, he's a handsome guy in some
I
ways.
mean, not that handsome,
I mean, he's doing
not
it.
Kim Kardashian
I
handsome,
know. I know. Also, her ex-husband seems to be going a little
because it's
even more
swagger
kooky.
and loved that interview with Kanye. I just think it's
Yeah.
very sad. I just see it as mostly very sad. I wish that there was somebody who could help him because it's like
Yes. He
I also really hate that there is this weird pseudo evangelical Christian thing happening among pop culture right now. Like where like Marilyn Manson and Justin Bieber and Kanye and DaBaby are in like a prayer circle, and I'm like, what is happening?
the end times.
I mean, God, I hope so because I am fucking done. Get me out of here. Put me in my
Exit
heavenly
button.
body.
Oh, maybe that's
Yeah,
what doing CrossFit's about.
turning into my heavenly body.
I love it.
My heavenly body literally I don't wanna are you kidding me? I don't wanna have an actual body. I wanna be joined to the consciousness. I wanna be floating. I wanna know everything. I just wanna be able to look at stuff and think it's cool. That's what I wanna do in the afterlife.
I love that. You just want to join the oneness of the universe.
Yeah, I'm already there. I'm
You are.
already there.
So our next section is questions that either we got from you or we're going to ask each other. And I love when you, Kevin, start to do a little research because you were so giddy about some questions that you found.
Oh yes, I just got this cute little app. So this is 7 questions that you ask with your friends when you're having a drink. So are you ready? These are 7 questions.
This is the questions. Go.
And we both answer it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
If you could go back to speak to yourself a week ago, what would you say?
Pump up the tires. What would you say?
Don't bother with Halloween. You know, it was just
Really? You
meh.
look so cute, but you didn't have that
I mean,
great
I
of a
had a
time?
it was not my favorite Halloween, we'll put it that way. It could have been better. I think I looked
Okay.
sickening, but I did not have a sickening time, you know. Okay.
Okay.
Describe what you think my current mood is. What do you think my current mood is?
I think you are very relaxed and you're having fun. And it's like I can tell it's like your wind down time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Describe my mood. Is that what I was?
Yeah, I'm supposed to describe your mood. I think you're definitely more relaxed and at ease. Like you came into the call with like chill. Like you were a lot more chill like than you usually are. Like I can just feel it on you. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Kippy, don't bite me. Thank you.
That is a true story.
What have you been dying to me and why? I need a fucking massage.
Dying.
I know
Ooh.
that because my body, I just need to be touched. I need to be touched right now. You know? I need to pay someone to touch me.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great. Please, someone, but professionally. Please, someone professional touch me.
Yeah. Whether like, here's the thing, like, no, like, I have paid a sex worker to have sex with me. Okay. It's not that big a deal. We just need to destigmatize it. And so sometimes I consider, I'm like, what if? However, I don't know many in the Atlanta area. I probably could, probably should. That's not what I'm looking for. I have tension in my back that needs.
Yeah, that's not going to help. I feel like that's going to put more tension in your back.
Oh, girl, you know it. Oh.
What have I been dying to do?
What have you been
lately?
dying to do recently, Sarai?
I think I have been. That's a tough one because I want to give like a practical answer, like figure out the next 6 months of my life. But also,
I mean, is that what you've been
I
dying to
have
do
been
recently?
dying.
But I feel like that feels like a missed
Yeah,
opportunity. You always feel that way. And if you're
that's true. I think what I've been dying to do lately is run, and I can't because of my plantar fasciitis. So I've been missing it so much. Like today, my foot is almost well enough where I can run, and I had to like talk myself out of it and be like, "Look, you want to run in 2 weeks? You want to run a half marathon?" And the doctor that I went to was like, "It's better to be undertrained than over injured. So rest that shit." So I have been dying to run. I have been dying to run to the river trail here is like my favorite place to run. And I have been missing it so much. So next
I'm sorry
question,
that you
please.
can't run right now. Don't bite me.
Thank you.
Not you, Sarah. I know that you wouldn't bite me.
I mean,
question number 4. Ready? When did I last
ready.
misunderstand you, and how do you feel about it now?
Oh, we had a big one where you thought I was lying about something and 2 things.
Yeah.
And both of them, like, I could get where you understood. Like, so one of them was about like kind of my past. Like, I thought I had like been making a story bigger than it was, but it was just like, no, I've always said it that way. I just sometimes explain it this way. And how do I feel about it now? I feel about it now that like it was just another thing that like we worked through and it just makes us closer. Like had we not had that moment. And then also it's helped me like reframe, okay, how do I talk about that story in a way that is really clear? And it might be overly clear and overly whatever, but I don't know. I feel like it was a learning opportunity for both of us. I feel like it also was helpful for me as someone who is always afraid that conflict is going to sever a relationship to recognize that people can misunderstand you and you still can end up on the other side. What about you? Do you When did I last misunderstand you?
Probably like Wild Goose when like I was just
Oh.
trying to chill and have a good time and you were stressing out about everybody else and then we butted heads. And then we were just realizing it's because we operate in two different worlds. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about that now?
Fine. Also, our Wild Goose Festival video is on YouTube now.
It is.
Yes, I saw it the other day.
Oh, can we do we got to drop the audio in our podcast feed
Yes, don't let me forget.
because that was such a we had so much fun with that one.
Yes.
All right. What's your next question?
Number 5. Our conversation. What advice do you have for me?
What advice do I have for you right now?
What advice do you have for me right now?
Pay a masseuse right now. Like make an appointment, have somebody touch you on a deep, deep level, especially because you're CrossFitting right now and your muscles are building up lactic acid because these are muscles you haven't used in the same way. No. So that's my advice for you right now in this moment is after we get off this call, book a massage.
Cool.
What about for me?
You need to go call your friend who is doing that psychedelic assisted therapy.
Okay.
Look into it.
I will.
Pray about it. And consider the great benefits that could befall you. And that's the thing. If we keep our mind on what the benefits of things are, it's like, well, why wouldn't I do that?
That's fair.
Right down here. I might freak out. There's somebody there. The thing, just if you look at the benefits, they greatly outweigh any of the possibilities of negative things. So that's my advice for you. Wow. I didn't know they were going to get this serious.
Okay, next. These are very serious questions. They're
Number
fun.
6. How do you love me? Ew. What is that? I want to skip that one.
No. I think it talks about like love language stuff. Like how do we love each other? What are the ways that? Because I think there's good stuff to be said when people are like your favorite aunts. Like how do we love each other? Don't you think that's a good question?
I mean, yes. I think
by letting each other be who they are.
Yeah,
I think
I'd say that's a good one.
It's surrendering. Like I think in our friendship, just like in any friendship, I mean, you know me, I'm always like way too anxious about stuff. And you have taught me how to not be as like, if I didn't do this, if I didn't do that, there's all this stuff. And I think I've done that because I've learned to love that part of you and then go, maybe that's okay in me as well. And maybe I can do that. So I think I love you by letting you be you.
I think I love you by yelling at you. I'm just kidding. No, I
mean, you are, look, there was one time that Kevin yelled at me and it literally has changed my life. So I'm not going to ever say, because I had a conversation that I never would have happened if you hadn't yelled at me. And it has changed my interaction with people that in such an incredible way, in an incredible way.
I do not recommend yelling if you can help it.
Right.
Yeah, I think you allow me to say that I'm sorry. You're very gracious and merciful.
Oh, thank you. What's the next question?
What's a plan we should make right now with each other?
Oh, I know what it is. I want to know when we're going to actually see each other in reality.
I really want to come. Know when you're going to be down in LA because I want to go down to LA and see the gang and just be there in the sun for a while.
November, December for sure. November and December.
It's November.
For sure.
Well, it's already November, so. Or are you leaving like tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I will be in Nashville though for a week from the 13th to the 20th. Not quite a week, but.
Of November?
Mm-hmm. I'm running, quote unquote, the half marathon, we hope.
Sounds like fake news.
Hey, watch it. Is there another question? I haven't been counting.
No, that was 7 questions.
7 questions with your favorite aunts. Now, did you have any listener? Do you have any listener questions you want to ask?
Let's look. Let's look in the box.
Because I know we're getting close to time.
Oh yeah. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. BTW, if you ever want to send us a question, you can do it on our Instagram before the show, or you can always send us an email to askyourfavoriteants@gmail.com. I'm going to pull up the inbox real quick just to see. La da 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 dee da 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 da. Well, negative. I will say that we are charting in New Zealand. We're number 71 in the Apple podcast on relationships.
Of course we are. I love
Number
that.
7. So shout out to all of our New Zealand friends. Like, honestly,
Seriously,
like, what a fun
y'all are
time.
great. If you guys enjoy our podcast and enjoy our silliness, please spread the word.
Mhm.
I think, as I'm thinking about, oh yeah, I want to make a plan of when to see you again, but I also want to like make a plan about what our work together is going to be, because not in like because we don't want to make this
Mhm.
another thing, but I think when we've stuck to being consistent about this, the number of people
Mhm.
who've reached out and said this really matters to me. I actually just had someone text me today to say, I've been listening to your podcast and I love it. I'm like, really? Okay. I feel
Yeah,
like there's
I think it's an interesting, like, it's morphing into just a lovely honesty chat time.
yeah, which we hope inspires you to have a weekend filled with those.
Yeah. So yeah, please subscribe, and both on the YouTubes, on the
Yes.
Facebooks, on Twitch, on YouTube, on especially on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you'd be so kind to leave us a review on Apple
Please.
Podcasts, that would be so delightful and delicious.
And so helpful for us as we're trying to get our friends to come on as aunts, but both of us have been so busy that we haven't done that. That will be part of my next week, is scheduling some aunties.
Yeah. I feel like it's like, you know what? Like, especially as I'm not worried about it. I really feel like I'm not worried about trying to expand anything or do anything more or better. This is going to sound
Nope.
strange. Not right now, because it's wintertime. Wintertime is we are entering in the womb. We're entering into the darkness. Like, our bodies are naturally more fucking tired because of less light.
Mm.
So I am really dedicated to being okay with moving slowly, and not only and enjoying it. So like, I'm excited because I think 2022 is going to come around. Things are going to get on and popping, but I'm not in a hurry, and I'm trying to just kind of stay there. I don't want to be hurried. I want to remain unbothered. I want to remain in my peace, and I want to help teach other people how to do that. So that's what I'm focused on through the end of the year.
I love that. And I think that might be really good advice.
Consistent peace.
And also seeing things as seasonal, like rhythm, and
Yeah, just
the
like your
rhythm of
depression,
slowing
baby.
down.
Hey, sorry.
No, it's true though. Actually, one of the things I was going to say earlier to you is like, you have to recognize too that the light is affecting your feeling depressed.
Yep. Thank God my psychiatrist upped me to 200 milligrams of Wellbutrin.
I actually get to have that. I get to like make my appointment next week with the doctor to talk through Wellbutrin as an option for me. Not that
Wellbutrin. Go ahead.
I just want to get ahead of it, because I don't want to go back to Adderall as an ADHD human just for a while. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it
Doesn't help
really,
you.
it sped my heart up. It helped me, but it made me more anxious. And so someone who's cross-diagnosed as OCD, ADHD, I feel like it's a little bit much. And so Wellbutrin, as I've been researching it, thanks to you and a couple other friends, I think that's the thing I'd like to talk to a doctor about. So
Well,
ain't no
as
time
per
better than
usual.
the present.
Come on now. All right. Well, if we ain't got nothing else, I
don't think
I can I love you. I've had a
sign
great
us off.
time with you.
I love you so much. I'm having a great time with you.
Um,
Also, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for coming every week. It means a lot to us. A lot to us.
I have a
It's
lot of
so
fun.
delightful. Yeah,
And
it's
it's
so
very
delightful to
chill.
have you here.
And please follow me at the Kevin Garcia. Follow Sarah at Rep Sarah Heath. The books are on our websites. And things. Okay. I just want to, like, this is like my future dreams.
I'm ready.
Sorry. I want to do Wonderfully Made, but online.
Ooh.
Like, do, like, you know, like treat things where people actually, now that I say it, I'm like, I don't want to be on another Zoom conference. We just need to start planning queer camp. That's really what it needs to come down to. I want to be in person with people.
I like it. What if you brought in the woman who does day-long therapy sessions
To do a trip?
with people? I don't know.
I mean, I would love that, but also I'm not trying, like, so that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I would love to
You're right.
participate. Like, for
You're right.
me,
You're
I
right.
don't know shit about shit, baby.
Also, I think you'd have to come up to Oregon to do it where it's legal. So never mind.
Which
I
is
changed my mind.
fine. I'm happy. No. Anyways, that's it. You got anything else? You got any thoughts?
All right.
Hopes? Dreams?
I got no thoughts.
Ambitions?
Hopes, dreams, ambitions. My dream and ambition really truly is for us to be able to do more of this work and more conversations. And I today just said to someone, like, I am at a point now, as I've been living and working in a lot of ways in isolation in some ways, but I'm ready to be back to speaking at events. I'm ready to do that stuff again in a way that I think is healthier now. And
Yeah.
so that's what I'm hoping for.
Sick. Well, hire us for your next event and tune in next week at the same time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. What's it called? Pacific time. And tell your friends, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
I
We love you.
am
Drink
Judy
water.
Garland.
And I am Fred Astaire. Obviously.
For another episode of Your Favorite Ants. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.